It's time to get some answers from Adam Cole. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. This update is brought to you by the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Check out the new episode right now, wherever you get your podcasts. Results from last night's Impact Wrestling and AEW Dark are straight ahead in this update, but first,
WWE.
Adam Cole is promising some answers on tonight's NXT, following his surprise attacks on Undisputed Era cohort Kyle O'Reilly and NXT champion Finn Balor. Cole tweeted earlier this week that he'll, quote, explain everything, end quote, and added that, quote, it's a lot more than just why, end quote. There are also some major non-title matches on tap tonight. Santos Escobar must face Karrion Kross in a no disqualification match. If Escobar no-shows, GM William Regal says he will strip Escobar of his cruiserweight championship and suspend him. Other matches just announced yesterday: North American champion Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis, and women's champ Io Shirai facing NXT newcomer Zoe Stark. Plus, the grizzled young veterans versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, and Xia Li versus Casey Catanzaro. Samoa Joe is now a regular on the Raw announce team, but he's still hoping to make an in-ring return after a lengthy injury absence.
For the most part, we're taking a careful, measured approach, and though I don't think my in-ring career is over by a long shot, I'm appreciative of the recovery time and that my health is being respected at a premium.
Joe speaking with SK Wrestling, he declined to share a timetable for any possible return. Joe has been sidelined since he reportedly struck his head during a commercial shoot last February.
AEW.
AEW's Tony Khan discussing the future of the Forbidden Door on Tuesday.
There's going to be people showing up. It could be people from New Japan, it could be people from Impact, it could be people from other companies, it could be new faces, old faces, but there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'm really excited about it.
Khan speaking on Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio. Tonight's Dynamite is live with Rey Fenix versus Lance Archer in the main event. The winner gets a spot in the six-man ladder match at Revolution, where the winner will get a shot at the TNT Championship. The Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament rolls on tonight. We'll get a semifinal match from the U.S. side of the bracket, Dr. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose. Also, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus the Varsity Blondes, Hangman Page versus Isaiah Cassidy, and Jon Moxley versus Ryan Nemeth. Nemeth beat Aaron Solo on last night's Dark. Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi were out there to watch the match, and all three joined forces for a post-match beatdown on Solo before QT Marshall, Lee Johnson, and Nick Camarado ran them off. Brooke Havoc, in only her second ever match in AEW, tore her ACL midway through her match against legit Layla Hirsch. Havoc finished the match, but did take the loss. Kip Sabian had his first match since early December. He beat Fuego del Sol, and Kylan King beat Tesha Price.
Impact Wrestling.
The long-simmering feud between Impact World Champ Rich Swann and Moose will finally come to a head. They'll meet one-on-one at the Impact Plus exclusive Sacrifice show on March 13th. Moose's TNA World title is once again a recognized championship in Impact Wrestling. Scott D'Amore made that announcement at the top of last night's show after Moose attacked Jake Something. Jake had just won a tables match against Diener. D'Amore ordered Moose to defend the TNA title against Jake in the main event. Moose did prevail in that match. Another match added to Sacrifice: Jordynne Grace and Jazz will challenge Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz for the Knockouts tag titles. Grace and Jazz earned that shot by beating Kimberly and Susan. After the match, Grace and Jazz found ODB beat up backstage. Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Black Taurus beat the team of Willie Mack, Trey Miguel, and Josh Alexander in a six-man tag when Bay pinned Mack. The winning side of Bay, Austin, and Taurus will now face one another in a three-way on next week's Impact. The winner of that match gets a shot at the X Division title held by TJP. MLW announced Tuesday it signed Leo Bryan to a long-term contract. He's been appearing on Fusion recently as part of the tag team The Dirty Blondes. That's Just Pro Wrestling News for Wednesday, February 24th. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning. Please rate, review, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.